Well, hello there, and welcome back to Mr. E's Mysteries and Magics. Yes, I know you hit the email icon on your phone and you ended up here. I'm sorry. Well, stick around for the video anyway. This video is brought to you, as always, by RP Magic Shop, where you can get just about anything you want in Magic, including the cards we are going to be using for the effect in this video. So please check out their website at the link below. Okay, so what are these cards? Well, these are the Leon playing cards is what they are called. I got them for Christmas, and I have been confirmed that Santa got these at RP Magic Shop. It has been confirmed to me. So anyway, that's where they came from, and if you are interested, check out RP Magic Shop. So what are the Leon playing cards, and why did I get them? Well, those of you who know me know that I go by the name Lee, and you can kind of guess what my real given name is. It is not Lee, but since these are the Leon playing cards, I think you can connect the dots. I don't go by that. I go by Lee, but anyway, Santa thought it would be cool to get me these cards. So what do you get? Well, this is the most minimalist tuck case I have ever seen in my entire life. There is nothing on it but this is a lion's head logo, gold embossed. The box itself is maroon, and there is nothing else on it but this red metallic trim around the contours of the box. That's it. Not a single word anywhere. Not even a copyright notice. All right? About as minimalist a tuck case as you can get. Another thing about the tuck case that is unusual, although not unheard of, is that it opens from the side and not the top. Okay, so what do you get inside? Well, I should point out, first of all, that these cards should be called the Dr. Leon playing cards. Why? Let me explain. The first thing you get is this, I don't want to call it an ad card, but it's more of a description card, really. And this is the only wording in the entire deck. And again, there is not even a copyright notice on here. It says up top, Leon playing cards in the box. And it says, inspired by Hiro Sekai. Who is that? Well, that is actually Dr. Leon. Hiro Sekai does a TV show in Japan. I understand it's pretty popular over there. I don't know how well known he is over here. But when he does this TV show, he takes on the persona and nom de guerre of Dr. Leon. He does the show as Dr. Leon. Puts on this sort of goofy, almost Einstein-style wig and a white lab coat, and in the upper left-hand side over his heart is this diamond, lion's head logo, lion, Leo, and all that jazz. Leon playing cards, Dr. Leon on. You get the connection. So anyway, he does that. The show is apparently, from what I can guess, something along the lines of the carbonara effect over here in the United States. Those of you who don't know the carbonara effect, it's a magician by the name of Michael Carbonara. The show is on True TV, which is the network that gave us Impractical Jokers, and still is for that matter. And what Carbonara does, and apparently Dr. Leon does, I mean, I've seen clips of it on YouTube, but it's all in Japanese, so it's kind of hard to follow. But apparently what Dr. Leon does is similar to what Carbonara does, in that he sets himself up in this sort of hidden camera situation, and then he performs a magic effect in front of unsuspecting people, like, you know, pulling a basketball out of an egg or some goofy thing like that, and watching their reaction, and that's what they put on the show. So it appears that the Dr. Leon show is along those lines as well. So that is who Hiro Sekai is, and why these are called the Leon playing cards, and should be the Dr. Leon playing cards. It also goes on to say, concept by Chris Mayhew and designed by Scott Pearson and Phil DaCosta. That's all it says. That is the entire wording. And then the logo, the lion's head logo. And at the bottom it says, and this is really weird, www.leonplayingcards.com. So you look up that website, and there's nothing there. It says something to the effect of, well, you know, the owner of this website hasn't, purchased it or whatever, something, or haven't paid for it, whatever. And so there's nothing there. You can go to that website and you won't find anything. So put that aside. You get a double backer. Okay, that's cool. The two jokers, kind of interesting. It is the Lions logo. The lion head logo, one in maroon, one in black. And if you ask me, these are kind of a metaphor for marriage, right? You start out, you're like this, and after, I don't know, what, 5-10 years, you're doing this number. Okay, so that's that. I would point out, too, another interesting thing about these cards is the design. Let's take a look at the Queen of Hearts. You can see the colors. This is a standard bicycle card. This is the Leon card. You can see the red is very muted. Very muted. And as you might notice, too, the pips are a lot smaller. These cards are printed by USPCC. They're printed on a crushed stock. They're very slippery and rather thin. You can tell the difference, a bit of a difference between a standard and bicycle card and this one. And you can see there the muted red. The black is a little bit muted too, but not quite as much. I'll give you an example of that. Let me put this aside, and here is well, there's the ace. The ace is pretty cool. See, again, very minimal, and again, not even a copyright notice on it. Just the gigantic pip in the middle, and that's that. And here is the 8. You can see very clearly that the pips are a lot smaller on the Leon cards from the standard bicycle. Okay, so they're pretty cool cards. They're very nice cards. Again, like I mentioned, they are very slippery. They fan beautifully. They're almost too slippery at times coming out of the box. So, keep that in mind. They're good for a lot of different effects, particularly, like I said, fans and different things like that, where you need slick cards. I do love them. I like the design, the two lion's heads on there, and the minimalist kind of design and effect to it. So anyway, beautiful cards. Thank you so much, Santa. And let's get on to the effect. Now, a while back, Mikaro and the Great Wu Ding did a couple of effects called Finding Four Kings. And this is also called Finding Four Kings, but it's different from what they did. This is a different effect altogether, a different way of doing things. It's pretty simple, and I'm not going to get into too much of the history of this particular effect right now. I just want to get straight into it. I've rambled on long enough. I'll talk about the history of the effect in the tutorial, which will be coming out in a few days. I will say only this, that it is not original to me, not at all. It's a classic, and I will describe it all to you later. So here's how I present this thing called Finding Four Kings. I tell people, I do this usually in bars anyway, so it works out well for me, this little story, that I was doing some magic one day in a bar, and a drunk came up to me, and he said, "I want you to find the four kings in the deck." And I said, "Well, okay, how hard is that?" He said, "Oh no, I'm doing it my way." And he grabbed the cards out of my hand, and he said, "I'm going to turn these cards over, and I am going to mix them up and shuffle them half upside down and half regular. Just like that. I'm going to do this a bunch of times, and I just want to mess you up." See that? I'm putting them all together, all mixed up, and you're never going to be able to find all four kings, all half upside down and half not upside down. I'm thinking, all right, what am I going to do now? All right, he's got them all mixed up for me, right? So he hands them back and says, "Well, what are you going to do now, Mr. Wizard?" And I said, "I don't know. Let's see what we got here." Well, let's see. Looks to me like we got one card here that's face down. One card here that's face down. Another one here. Another one here, and everything else looks pretty much face up to me. What four cards do we have? Yeah, very good, my friend. Just like you wanted me to. I found the four kings. Of course, he looked at me in his drunken stupor, and he said, "Mr. E's Mysteries and Magics, you are amazing. You have just left me baffled."